masons, so that you now have all your fire safe materials waiting, and you can go and you can build fire safe doors in the perfect number of quantity, and they will only know how to use fire safe materials. And if they don't have any, they'll just cancel the job. And for now, we're going to go ahead and start moving goods up there. Make me some bins. Is my stream quality okay? Are you guys getting a decent frame rate? It's hard to say with Dwarf Fortress, I guess. I will be casting again, I know. I'll be casting again tomorrow night. Probably not Thursday. I've got some family in town. Probably not much this weekend. I've got a major deadline at work. Probably end up working both days. But starting next week, I'm going to try to be casting 3 or 4 nights a week. So you guys feel free to follow and keep up. I'm only going to play this fort on the stream. So we'll see what direction it takes. I think Brandon Gaming has kind of got me inspired to really try to get this fully powered as a goal right now. Okay. Move me an armor stand, and a weapon rack, and some more coffins. You can never have too many coffins, even though I've not set up a mass graveyard yet. Another cool thing is track stops. I wish I could just show you. Track stops will not allow miasma to pass them, and since miasma doesn't travel diagonally, you can have indoor refuse now. You just basically have a refuse room that's a single tile, sealed by a door just in case they don't load it regularly, that loads into a minecart. The minecart dumps it into a single tile of refuse, and now you no longer have to pump it to the surface. You no longer have to worry about exposing that to being attacked. So I may go ahead and set that up next and show you guys how to make your bone sources and everything stay nice and safe. And then you just on one side of that refuse pile, you just put a door, and then they can just kind of lean in, and they're briefly exposed to any miasma that may be existing. So it's not really any lasting problem. And it's most likely somebody in a mood anyway, so what are you going to do? Okay, so we're ready. We're going to set up a route. We're going to name this route Craft Stone, because there's going to be a lot of different kind of stone types. You could number these off if you want to make one separate route for each Craft Dwarf workshop, but you can actually have them pull all from one stockpile, or through a series of pressure plates. You can actually have a stockpile divvy up evenly once it is powered, where it'll dump off half at one site and half at another. Basically, as it passes over a pressure plate, a bridge that is normally acting as a wall for a turn lowers down over the track, making that turn now a straight. and you could do that as many times as you wanted, kind of making a fork. And so you can effectively divvy things up across multiple types. So you could have your wood stockpile divvy up, and half of it go to be turned into go to a wood furnace, and half of it go to a carpenter's workshop once you kind of have those initial beds up and you have your minecarts powered. So the half is getting turned into cages, more barrels, you already have plenty of beds, and the other half is ready for soap making and for creating fuel, even though you're using magma furnaces so that you can make steel. So, craft stone. Sorry about that, got sidetracked. Remember, you have to be over your stop before you press S. That's stop 1. We're going to go ahead and name that dump, when in doubt. If I can use my keyboard properly. We're going to name this one stockpile. Don't plan on having multiple of these right now, so that's fine. You can always rename them. So, stockpile, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say this is guiding clockwise. So we'll head north immediately when full. It will also head north in 10 days. We're going to say always. We're going to cancel that other one. Now I'm going to link it to this stockpile. You have to be over the stockpile when you press S for link. Otherwise it'll just link like that to nothing, and you can't edit that. And then we're going to have desired items stone. Now the nice thing is we could go in here and we could filter the types of stone, so we could pull from a larger stone pile and only pull out the types you want, which is fantastic. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go to dump, and we're going to say we're headed clockwise, so it's going to be headed west immediately when empty, always. Now right now we're guiding, okay? But if you push P, you have push, ride, and guide. Guide is the best right now for a non-powered system like this. When you have huge straightaways, lets them. You can have them ride it, but then they have an issue with these up and down hills like this. So I just generally do it on guide until you get power. Now once you have power, it's push, and just imagine them once it's loaded, somebody goes out there and just gives it a swift kick and off it goes. So it's only going to go a certain distance before it has to be powered by rollers or gravity. Okay, so we've got our craft stone, and we don't have a minecart on it. Okay, we only have one minecart not on a track, which is a reminder that we need to go up to our shop here and make not an armor stand. Give me a few more minecarts and go back to making barrels, actually cages after a barrel. That's fine. Okay, so this stockpile does not need a wheelbarrow. It's not receiving from anything, no point in a wheelbarrow. So he pushes it down there, dumps it off of its site. Now it's empty right now. We're going to wait. We've got somebody idle. My mechanic. Now those may all be, can't picture any other current constructions, but if they're spoken for, that's an issue. So what they're going to do is they're going to load this up. And they're going to push it clockwise around here, up this. I left this a big enough straightaway that I can have rollers later. Up here, and it's going to come to a stop. That stop is going to dump it south, at which point this stockpile, with no wheelbarrows at that point, is going to be set to give. Now by setting it to give, it's going to end up canceling this guy's job after he finishes this. because this one is now linked to that stockpile, it will only know how to do tasks with materials in that stockpile. So one of the things you have to be careful with is when you have industries that take more than one material, such as soap, they can only pull from one stockpile. So if that stockpile does not have all of the required goods, it won't know how to do it. But you could dump in it from multiple down those shafts, or you could dump in it from multiple directions. So you just have to remember that. I need to designate. We are going to go ahead and make a graveyard down here. We did just have our caravan arrive. And we're going to make sure that we pick up an anvil, because I did not embark with one, because I didn't think that I would get to 20 dwarves before I had an opportunity to purchase one. And at this point, I will need to get a broker. Do we have anybody watching that has not played Dwarf Fortress or has not been playing for very long that has any questions on what the hell I'm doing? Ice Life. I have been playing DF off and on for, I guess, several years now. So, how long is the wiki been around? Because I helped start the wiki. So, I guess a long time. I am starting to get a lot more active again now that they have Minecarts. It's really changed the game here. So here is our furniture quantum pile, which is what we're trying to do with that stone. He's offloading his crafts right here. They're getting loaded into this minecart here. It's getting taken around, dumped right there into that stockpile. That is what we're trying to do right now. Once we have all of these set up, we will be powering them, which will basically make these dwarves, ooh, excuse me there, was I way over mouse wheel, which will make all of these dwarves have one task and one task alone to work. There will be no hauling. You will have designated haulers, and you will have designated workers, but your designated haulers can double as your off-duty military. So because your designated workers have increased their output by never having to walk to get a raw material or drop off a finished good, you can have less of them. So you can now have an enormous military. My last fort, I think I had 140 dwarves and a standing military. I think I had 8 squads. So, and I had every industry running. I had more of everything that I knew what to do with. So, that fort is actually, I think, still alive. It is just on my other computer. Okay, and I need to designate Roger. Mabzuth. you, sir. Do not